Good evening from Norway, from our cozy, nice and warm living room. I am sitting here to explain to you what a growth mindset is and how you as a parent can try to train the growth mindset of your child. But before we get there, it all starts with, and this can be quite shocking to some people, to others it's not so shocking, it's like makes sense, but to some people it can be shocking because it all starts with us, the parents, or the teacher if you're a teacher, or a teacher and a parent. It all starts with ourselves. We have to look at ourselves. What do we say daily? What do we do daily? And what will be, if we want it or not, it will be used against us. Everything that we say and we do can and will be used against us. That's why we need to live the life that we want to give to our children, because what we give, that's what we will get back. What we say, that's what we will hear back from them. Yes, 100%. Children are not really great at listening to us. If we want them to do something, we ask them to do something, we tell them to do something friendly or whatever way we try to make them do what we want. They're not so really good at that. They're not into that at all most of the time. But they are awesome at copying us. So that's why we have to live the life that we want for our children. We have to live the life we want to give to our children. So, first, look in the mirror. Hi. I'm the problem, it's me. I just like the Taylor Swift song just like popped up in my head. Yeah, it often is. So if you think like, we need to fix our child. Our child has a fixed mindset. Our child has a fear of failure. Our child does whatever, I don't know what, you don't really like, or something that your child is facing that is like causing difficulties, any challenge in behavior or in learning or in, mindset, basically. So if you have observed that and you have like found a problem or a challenge that your child is facing, that your child is experiencing, and or you feel like it's a problem, hi, how am I doing? Do I recognize some of those things that my child, like if my child has a fear of failure, how do we talk about mistakes in our house? How do we address mistakes? Do we encourage our children to try something new? And do we let mistakes happen and actually even celebrate mistakes? Do we send them the message that mistakes are really great, that mistakes are awesome, that mistakes are essential in our learning process, and that you can teach them about the learning pit. You can teach them that. Yes, they will like it. The learning pit. You can look it up online, what the learning pit is. That's a longer story to explain. So look at yourself. Like, what do I say? How do I handle mistakes? And you can even model it. You can show your child that you're trying something new, but like at first you're horrible at it, like knitting, for example. It's like a real life example. My daughter was trying to teach me how to knit, and I was about to throw that whole set in the fireplace. Like, I was about to give up. I was so frustrated, but I was also like noticing that my daughters were observing me. Yes, all eyes on me. So I was like, okay. I asked my daughters, it's really not working well and I'm about to give up. What do I do? And then they said to me, Mom, it's fine. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. When you're learning something new, then mistakes are part of the deal. Like, you can't get it right straight away. So keep trying. It will get better. So I heard all my own words back, and I was actually asking them for advice, and they're becoming experts in this because we have been like going through this whole process. We've also had a daughter with a fear of failure. But by addressing mistakes as something that is like totally fine, it's like part of the deal, part of life, totally okay. Actually, they're amazing. Mistakes are amazing. So if you talk about it in a way like that, and you as a parent, you do that, you're not telling your child you should, but you also do it yourself, then they will copy it. So I was really excited to hear all my words coming from their mouths. So that was awesome. I really, really love that. That's what I often do. I try something new and I let them coach me go through that whole process. So they are aware of how the process goes. And we focus on the process. Like, it's way more important than the end, than the goal. Like, I don't know, a sweater. I'm not knitting a sweater yet. See, the power of yet. I'm not knitting a sweater yet. I can't do that yet. I've got like a little scarf for a mouse maybe. That's how far I got so far. But it's something that they told me, Mom, you can't like knit fast yet. That's okay. The power of yet. Can't do it yet. But I will keep trying. I will keep learning. And I will keep modeling that behavior. So that's really important, that you model the behavior you would like to see in your child. That is actually step 3 of what I'm writing about in my book, The 4 Steps Towards a Growth Mindset. Training a growth mindset with your children together, train it together. So step 1 is searching for connection with your children. Do something that they really love and be together. Really be in the moment. Like, make your spirits meet. Make sure that you're really connecting, that you're spending time together, undisturbed time together. So there's no phone, there's no other screens, there's no other people around. It's just the 2 of you. And it doesn't have to be hours. It can be like even minutes that you're doing something together, really having a conversation or cuddling or cooking together or going for a little walk. It can be something spontaneous. If you see your child playing, join, be together, ask questions, be curious, and be at the same level instead of like talking to your child, but find the connection, be with your child. Step 1. Step 2. So step 1 takes a lot of time. It's never over. So it's a never-ending story to find that connection with your child, keep that connection with your child, and keep building on it. Make it stronger. Because if there's a strong connection between the 2 of you, and there's a strong connection like for the child with itself, and for you with yourself, if you have a strong connection with your authentic self, who am I? What do I love? What are the things that make me really happy? What are the things that don't make me happy at all? And why? What are my triggers? How can I handle them better? All those things, like the inner work. If that's all happening and you feel like, okay, I'm ready for step 2. Step 2 is finding that peace in your head, in your body. So you need to find that peace and quietness, that space, head space, to be able to make choices that you won't regret. Choices that you feel like, yes, I am so happy that I was like on this path and I felt like, okay, there's like a split coming up. So there's a crossroad coming and I can choose to go in this direction, and it will be something that I will regret later. So for example, my child spilled a drink and I can go this road and I can get really upset and I can scream like, what did you do? Why did you do that? Blah. I think we've all done that when we didn't have that like headspace, we're like, ah, or stop there and think, no, I want to go this road. So headspace. And will it help if I yell at my kid? You know, when you have the headspace, you know, and you will be like, okay, it's just, well, liquid, water, I don't know, juice, chocolate milk, whatever it is, on whatever material it got spilled. Headspace. It's not the end of the world. We can wash it, we can dry it. It's okay, those things happen. See? And then you'll be like, because I had that headspace, I could make a choice I'm happy with. Like, I'm still happy with. But if you're going in this direction and you're like, I regret it, and you talk to yourself like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I feel really bad about myself. If you made a choice that you regret, please be mild to yourself. It's okay. It happens. We are parents. We're not robots. We have our own mess. But if we feel like, oh, I'm often making these, like, I'm taking the path that I regret, if you take that a lot, if you take that quite often, go back to step one. Spend some time with yourself. If you feel like your child is, well, not really open to talk about these choices, to choose like any roads, like you're at this split and you can choose to go, I'm going to be really angry with my friend, or I'm going to ask my friend like, hi, how can we solve this problem together? For example, if your friend took your ball from you, but you actually wanted to play with it, do you want to like push and pull? Or will you be like, the other road is, hey, we can talk about it. I see that you want to play with it. Then you can take a turn and then I'll get it back after like 10 minutes. Or can we maybe play together, right? So if you talk with your children about this crossroad, so you're here and you feel like there's a road coming up to the left, this road coming up to the right. Oh, I don't know if you're seeing it like a mirror, by the way. A road coming to this side and this side. And you have a choice. You are responsible for your own choices. You are responsible for everything that you say and you do. If your child is open for that conversation, and you can even draw that little crossroad, you can draw it, you can talk about it, but drawing really helps. I saw that with my children in my class. It made sense to them and it changed a lot. Like I can tell that children are really thinking more about their decisions, and they own their decisions, and they also own it if they made a mistake, if they feel like, there was a path that I shouldn't have taken, but we talked about it and now I can learn from it. It's okay. It actually helped me to grow as a person, as a friend, as a learner. So talking about that, if you can talk about that with your child, if you also as an adult, you know that you're responsible for your own choices, and your child is too. If you feel like you're there, yes, that's step two. We're owning step two. If you're not ready, if you feel like, it's not working well, go back to step one. Work on that connection with yourself, with your child, and your child with itself. It's so important. If that connection is not there, if your child doesn't feel seen, loved, heard, important, all of that, if your child doesn't feel like that, and if you don't feel like that, then step two is too far away. Talking about growth mindset choices is too far away. So really work on that foundation, on feeling seen, heard, loved, important, accepted, all of that. So that was step one. Step two, spacing your head. Step three, that's where we're going now. What we talked about, living the life you want to give to your child. So you got to model it. Model those choices that are growth mindset choices. So try new things. Celebrate mistakes. Think in solutions instead of like staying in the problem. Stop complaining, because complaining is staying in the problem. But look for solutions. Talk about the solutions. Be open and be vulnerable. It's totally okay to say, it's actually really good to say like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I did that. Like, that was a really poor choice that I made. If we could turn back time, could we please turn back time? Like, step inside the time machine and go back to that moment that I snapped. I'm so sorry about that. Like, but please, let's go back. Okay, I'm going to make this choice again. Now I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to count till like up to 20 or 200, whatever you need, and make a different choice. So be vulnerable and show this with your children, or ask them for advice. Like, I made a really poor choice and I shouldn't have done that. Like, what should I have done? Like, do you have any advice for me? Because then you focus on the process and you can talk about that. And next time they will be in a situation like that, they can refer to that. Like, oh yeah, I remember my mom had this too. It's totally fine to talk about that. It's actually really, really good. So live the life you want to give to your child. You got this. And talk about it. Talk about like how you're doing. And you can like narrate what you're doing, like with the knitting. I'm going to try to do something new, something that I've actually been like pushing away because I'm a little too scared, because it is something new and I think I can't do it. Share the process. Share it with your children. Share what's going on inside your head. And then let them coach you through that whole process. Like, take them along on the ride and learn together. And show them that doing something new can be scary, and it's totally fine if it's scary, a little bit scary, or like big scares, like for me with the knitting. Never thought that I would ever do that. But there we were sitting together, and my daughters were teaching me how to knit. And they thought it was really cool that I was trying it. And they kept saying it, Mom, you're trying it. Yes, you rock, Mom. And they kept complimenting me on the process, which is actually step 4. So let's go to step 4. Step 4, when you see your child making growth mindset choices, compliment them on the process. So tell them, I see that you're trying something new. That's awesome. Or, wow, those lines that you've been drawing there, you spend a lot of time on that. And you were super focused, I can tell. Or what else? Another process, like, yeah, so you were actually really scared to jump off that big rock, but you tried it now. Well done. Points for trying. That's awesome. So if they're trying something that they were actually scared about, or they were feeling nervous about like a new mathematic problem, and they're trying it. They're trying something new. They're trying this new skill in mathematics or in English or in whatever subject at school, or a skill in swimming or in sports and anything. If they're trying something new, yes, points for trying. Compliment on the process, not so much on the outcome. The outcome is not that important. It's about the process. If your child is all the way up a hill, I have this video of Soul like going all the way up the hill by himself, instead of telling him like, yeah, you did it, you're all the way up, I will tell him something about the process, like, your legs are strong and your legs are taking you all the way up, or something about that he did. Like, you did not give up, even though it was really hard, or even though you fell, you got back up and you tried again. Something like that. It can be quite challenging to compliment on the process, but just really look at your child, look at what they're doing, and look at which growth mindset things you see happening, and mention that. So give words to the process, give words to the progress. And if you use those words, you'll hear them back, like me with the knitting, when they kept saying, Mom, it's totally fine to make mistakes. Mistakes are awesome. Mistakes will help you learn. So don't give up. Keep trying. It will get better. So yeah, that is actually my message that I wanted to send to the world, send to you. Spread the growth mindset vibes, spread the growth mindset confetti and the kindness, all of that. So I hope you learned something today. And this is actually a quick summary of my book about raising children with a growth mindset. It's not done yet. I was actually planning on writing my book this evening, but I left my charger at school. So, and my battery of my computer is dead. So, but I'm thinking of solutions using my growth mindset. And I will actually tell my daughters this tomorrow morning, like, oh, I was really excited yesterday about writing my book, but I couldn't do it because I didn't have my charger with me. I left it at school. I could have been really sad about it, and I could have been like grumpy about it, and I could have had a really horrible evening just sitting there and complaining and staying in the negative. But I always have a choice about how I react to a situation that I can't control anymore. I could have controlled it like when I was at school. I could have like paid more attention to what I was supposed to bring home, but it didn't happen. So now I can't control the situation anymore, but I can control my reaction. You can always control your reaction. You can. I am responsible for my own reaction. So I'm choosing to, find something else to do. Like this, sharing this video with you this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great evening, and if you have any questions, let me know. Always. Bye.